What up, everybody? It's your boy Rolando Mota here with another episode of Talk That Talk. Today, we got a very special guest. My boy out of Texas, making noise, making moves, working with the homies out here in Cali, trying to bring some of that love back to Texas. I mean, list goes on and on. We're going to talk about it a little bit right here. Everybody give a round of applause to my boy Leatherface.
Bitch, I'm a beast with it. I love to feast with it. I exit my cave and go and hit the streets with it. I'm always packing, so I'm never alone. I'm known for altered tone, certified by King Kong.
Leatherface, thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate you coming down here. Welcome to the temple. This is your house, my brother.
Right on. Appreciate
Sounds good.
Yup.
All right, Leatherface, let's get this party started. My brother, you're from Texas. Is it Houston?
Houston.
Gotcha. So, what's the rap scene like in Houston, man?
The rap scene in Houston, well, it's pretty, pretty much, our culture is going to be one of them that I'm going to mention, the slab culture. This is a song that was made in the past that said, in Houston, we're elbows and Cali's are Daytons. Basically for the lowrider scene, you know how you got the Daytons for the Lolos on the 6'4" Impalas and all that?
Sir.
Over there, on the Lincoln Town Cars, the Caprices, Impalas, and the Cadillacs, we always put those, we call them elbows, and 84s, basically called swingers, and they're basically poking out. They look like elbows, you know.
That's right.
And it's it's a style that Houston picked up, you know, and it's pretty much, it represents kind of like, I guess you can say it's like the lowrider scene for Houston, for Texas. It's pretty much elbows, and they say if you ain't poking, you must be joking. You know?
I like that.
Yeah, so like to swing wide and that. So the music is pretty much, expressing, their love for that culture, and also the sip and serve, Grandpa's old cough medicine, right. That codeine and all that, and slow down music. DJ Screw, R.I.P. DJ Screw's a legend, and every artist in Houston has to pay homage to DJ Screw. It's a tradition, and it's the law, And your music's slowed and chopped, when you're drinking, when you're on the bar, you're feeling good with your people, and you got that slow down music. It kind of might sound funny to other people from different coasts, but when you were brought up in Houston, you understand where it stands, and it's just one of those things, man.
Speaking of DJ Screw, bro. So Chop the Screw, man. Chop the Screw, the whole movement. Was that a big influence for you?
Yes, definitely. I loved it, from the very first time I heard the first cut, And one of my favorites of all time is June 27th. June 27th, DJ Screw got it right here. DJ Screw, June 27th. R.I.P. Big Mo, R.I.P. Big Hawk, Fat Pat, and all the legends. Pimp C, definitely DJ Screw is like, he started his own movement, and his sound is pretty much, it's uncomparable. Like it's just one of a kind,
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. My brother, so big shout out to all the rappers in Houston.
Right,
we got, the OGs, we got the Ghetto Boys, we got like Paul Wall, we got Slim Thug, Chingo Bling, everybody doing out there doing their thing. Who's your biggest rap influence in Houston?
My biggest influence, I would have to say UGK, the Underground Kings.
Oh, we.
Pimp C and Bum B, and I would also have to throw another one out there. It's going to be Zero the Crooked from Mo City. That's one of my big influences, Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you just named some legends there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, my brother. So, I see you out here making your mark in Cali, my brother. There's a lot of musicians out here, producers. Anyone specific you want to work with?
Well, right now, there was an artist that I wanted to work with for quite some time, and I finally got the pleasure to be able to collaborate with him. Is YoGotti. YoGotti is an artist that he's going to be on my album the Drip Effect that's coming out this year. I don't have an exact release date, but it's on its way. Hopefully within the next month or so.
That's big things, man. That's big things. Leatherface, you know, YoGotti ain't no joke, man. And with him on your album, my brother, that means you're doing something right, my brother.
Yeah.
You know. So your album, The Drip Effect, you're working on it now.
Yes.
All right.
It's pretty much finalized. Right now, we're just getting it mixed and mastered, and getting the album cover done and that, and pretty much just waiting on the turnaround, and we're gonna go ahead and drop it on all platforms.
Beautiful.
We're gonna have some videos, also some visuals to it. Yeah, got Drummer Boy on there.
Nice. Shout out to Drummer Boy. What up, Drummer Boy?
Got GT
Big
Garza
fans.
from Houston, Texas.
Ooh-wee.
And of course, YoGotti. Yeah.
YoGotti, The Drip Effect. Where did you get that, Neiman?
Well, yeah. Let me see if I can, break this down.
Break it down.
The best way that I can. We're pretty much it's very relevant to my life. How it's been a gradual, success little by little, that God has granted me the blessings. He has given me the proper tools to elevate and to move up in the world, And the way it came to mind was just like, if like a sink that's leaking water, drip, drip, drip. There's a cup in your sink right up under that drip. The drip is gradually just filling and filling and filling and filling, and pretty soon it overflows. So the way the concept is, it's like a constant motivation, a constant movement that's persistent, consistent, non-stop, relentless, and then it just overflows. So basically, I struggle, my trials and tribulations. I've been there and done that, got the t-shirt, been halfway around the world, seen everybody twice, and boom, this is my success.
That's right.
And I give all the glory to God, but it's a drip effect. We all have it.
There's a song out here in the streets right now. It's banging, man. I think it's produced by my boy AI, Taking No L's. It's you, Hectik, M4, the official M4. I mean, dude, it's banging. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, that's a project that came about, what I'm saying? Me and my boy Hectik had went over to AI's, shout out to AI, man, we went to his pad, man, and we had a little collabo. We was running through some beats, and because he's a dope producer just as well as an engineer, and he knows how to put some good cuts together, man. And
yes, sir.
He was just going through the beats, and we landed on that one, and we're like, hey, man, let's do something to that. He's like, all right. He just put it on repeat, and we started writing right there on the spot. Within 45 minutes, man, it was a song.
Beautiful.
And that's what I love, man. I love doing spontaneous work like that. It's nothing that's planned out. It's just something that just happened. You know what I mean? Like, it just came together, and it's so natural and it's more organic that way. And yeah, man, much props to him. Shout out to my boy Hectik, Mason King.
Hectik, what up?
Yeah, M4. You know what I'm saying? We're just artists, man. That a lot of us are underrated, man. We're just out here trying to get it. And we came together. We made that song. It was beautiful, man.
Like we said, shout out to our boy Hectik. Any other music you got going with Hectik?
Right now, we actually have an album in the works. It's a duo album with me and Hectik. And it's just I feel like this is gonna be crazy. This is definitely gonna split the game like a Red Lobster, man, because he has a powerful voice. His voice is like an authority bass drum that just hits you.
Facts.
Makes the hairs on your arm stand up. Like, he got that strong voice, and I love that. And then I got a strong delivery as well. Yes, so sir. I just feel like together we're gonna cause havoc, man. We're definitely gonna do some good songs, man. And we got other artists that we're gonna be working with that. Right now, I don't have per se a release date as far as that project goes or what it's gonna be called, but we're already like 3 or 4 songs in, and we're still working on the project. So we're gonna get around to it definitely this year, though.
Sounds good. Leatherface, I just want you to know, man, we're behind you, 1,000%, man. I hope you come back and let us know about this project. We can talk about it, because we're really looking forward to this collab,
definitely.
Man. So Leatherface is stranded on a deserted island. You got a choice. 3 albums you could take with you, man. That's it. All you can listen to on this deserted island.
Well, I would have to really, really make my next move, my best move when it comes to that right there. So off the top, all I can say is The Third Wish. I would have to have The Third Wish. I would have to have Soldiers United for Cash. And The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told. Those three right there, I think I'll be a happy camper. You know, I could write off the rest of my days with those.
Yeah. I heard that, man. Speaking of that, speaking of these albums, what was the first song, Leatherface, that you heard and said, oh man, this is, hip hop is my love, man, you know? What was your first song, verse, artist? Who was the first person you heard that made you fall in love with hip hop?
Well, to be honest with you, I was in Mexico. I was in Mexico with my father, and he turned on the radio, and I heard a song by Control Machete. It was a song by Control Machete. I don't remember if it was radio or if it was just a cassette that he had in there or something, but it was this song called talking about control, and it was I didn't really know Spanish at the time, but for sure it was hype, you know, and I was getting into it. And ever since then I started listening to more of their music, and actually listening to them is kind of what helped me pick up on my Spanish, because when I first went out there I wasn't too good with the Spanish or whatever, so I started picking up all the bad words and stuff. And and also what's this guy's name, man? I'm trying to think of this other artist, man, but definitely the one that rings a bell right away is Control Machete.
Shout out to Control Machete. What up?
Aquid. Yeah.
I think they're from East LA as well. Shout out to Aquid. What's up?
Yep. And then I started writing, and so the beginning of when my artistic side started coming out, I started writing in Spanish, you know, so I learned how to rhyme and how to make songs in Spanish.
Good deal.
As a matter of fact, now that we're touching that topic, man, I would love to make an album in Spanish, all in Spanish, like straight bar for bar, bro, like just fluent Spanish.
There you go, man.
I might have to do that for my fans, man.
So the talk out in the streets, man, is that you got picked up by a label, you know, which is bad news for the other labels, because I'm sure they're looking your way.
Oh,
but yeah, man, let's speak on that, my brother. Who are you working with? Who's Leatherface working with?
Well, I got picked up by Mob G Entertainment. Shout out to Mob G Entertainment.
What up?
Spooky and Spantos. Yo, the whole camp. We right here. Yeah, I was blessed, you know, with the opportunity to sign a one album deal. And we're gonna go ahead and just hit 90 with it, man, and see what happens, you know. Right now they're in a good position as a label, and I'm in a good position as an artist, and we both we're bringing our craft together, and we're gonna just make it work, you know.
All right, Leatherface, you being in the game for a while, you know, you're working with these great people in the business. What would you tell like a beginning artist, an upcoming artist that is trying to get maybe on your level, bro? Maybe something that somebody didn't tell you, or you wish somebody would have told you, or something that just, you know, lives in you, man. You might want to tell an upcoming artist some advice.
Definitely. You know, I'm glad you asked that question. I would like to say to anybody that's trying to get it, anybody that's hungry, motivated, and you have a vision, I just want him or her to know. And this is actually a universal message, whether you're below me or above me too. You know, I just feel like us as Raza, we need to stay a little bit more united. We need to come together. We need to put the politics aside. To me, this is an art. Just like acting is another form of art. So I would like to give this advice, you know what I'm saying? I would like to say that when it comes to our culture, we already know what time it is. I don't have to, you know, give you guys a lesson on that or nothing, you know, because everybody knows what's up, man. But when it comes to the music, let's come together and let's network with each other. Don't close yourself in a box. Be more optimistic, you know, think outside the box, you know, be willing to work with this artist, be willing to work with this engineer, this producer, network with everybody, because you're only as big as your network. If you're closed in a box, you're going to stay there. You'll never be universal. You'll never excel outside of your area, your section or whatever, you know. You have to always be optimistic and work with everybody. Like, I don't care, man. I'll work with Pumpkinhead from the different planet with 3 eyeballs, and you know, I don't care. You know, it's just as much as I say, like, my fans, for my real fans. If my fans wanted me to rap about rainbows and Teletubbies and marshmallows, I'll rap about that. You know, because I'm an entertainer at the end of the day. Yes, my songs, I do mention a lot of stuff about my personal experiences and stuff, you know, but for the most part, I want to give the fans what they want. You know, I want to give them what they want. If it motivates you, if it helps you, then that's good for me. I feel like I've done my job, you know.
Real talk. All right, Leatherface. The name Leatherface, man. Why choose Leatherface, bro? Is it because you're killing the game, or you're in the horror movies, my brother?
Yeah.
Or what's the deal behind the whole Leatherface name, man? Real interested to hear about this.
Well, the thing behind Leatherface, I mean, I do. My confidence is pretty much to where I do think that in my head. Yeah, you know, I definitely do think that I'm different, you know, and my difference is what's gonna make me surpass and excel, you know. But obviously that's gonna have to come with time. But yeah, I'm into horror movies ever since I was a kid.
Right.
You know, I've always been into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jason, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, even The Exorcist. The Exorcist was one of the most scariest movie I seen was the one when the girl crawling down the stairs with her head twisted or whatever, and she was coming down the stairs. I promise you, man, after watching that movie, I probably had nightmares for the next 4 years after that. I was young, man, when I watched it. I just could never sleep. I couldn't have a good sleep after that. But I've always been into horror movies. I like comedy as well. But Leatherface, that came about because like the whole Texas thing, you know, like I'm a Texas boy. I represent Texas, you know, and Leatherface, you know, it's just he's a chubby guy. He's a heavy set dude, you know, and he's just a loner. He's kind of like isolated, and nobody really understands him. And I'm not gonna get to comparing myself too much to him now, you know what I'm saying? But definitely,
no, we can see the connection. Definitely,
he's different, you know. And when I always say when I get on the mic, like whether I'm doing a feature for somebody or whether it's just a song that I'm writing, I feel like I get in there and I have the chainsaw with me and I just rip it every time because I give it my all, and I want people to understand that I'm like this good, gentle person, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I could get in the booth and I could rip it up, you know. And I have a strong delivery. I think highly of myself. I'm confident, and Leatherface is pretty much the name that we ran with because for those that don't know, at the beginning I used to be called Altered Beast. Altered Beast is a name that I picked up from actually a video game from the 80s because I was a gamer from the beginning of time. I've always been a gamer. Sega Genesis, Altered Beast. Only a certain few cats are gonna know about that. And yeah, I pretty much picked it up from that. You know, I wanted to be Altered Beast. You know, I wanted to power up and be the greatest, you know. And still to this day, you know, I always loved that name. I wish I could have kept it, but I got contacted by, you know, the owners of the copyrighted, you know, all that stuff. Oh man, it's just a big mess, you know, and we had to just go with the next best thing. It's not what I wanted, you know, but definitely Leatherface was also another name that I always wanted to use as my, you know, stage name, but I went with Altered Beast first. But it's Leatherface today, and that's what we're running with, baby. That's how we gonna run with it.
Leatherface works, man. Leatherface works.
Yeah.
It's definitely working for you.
Yeah.
So Leatherface, not only are you an artist, you know, you're also an entrepreneur out here in LA trying to make these moves. I know you got a clothing company. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell the people about it.
I'm getting it off the ground, you know, good Lord's willing, and it's called Frog Leather Drip. The Frog Leather Drip. And the reason a lot of people ask me why the frog, like what's the deal with the frog, and I just tell them, I say, when you think of a frog, for the most part, because there are many colors that they come in, you know, in that, but when you think of a frog, what's the first color that comes to mind? And usually it's always 9 times out of 10 they say green. Because I remember it green, you know, especially in the cartoons, the frog was always green.
Yes, sir.
And if you had a childhood like mine, you would agree. And well, pretty much, frog is green, money is green. So if you skin the frog, you're gonna have a frog leather. And I call money frog leather.
That's right.
And so putting those two together, it's like, okay, like instead of saying the cheese or the moolah or the cash or the this or the that, I just say frog leather. I'm out here stacking that frog leather. I got a bag full of frog leather, you know. And I just pretty much used that as a concept, and it just clicked one day, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start a clothing line with this frog leather. I'm just gonna let it take off and see what happens, you know. And right now it's still in the works. I got packages coming in, possibly first week of next month, and I have like pre-orders already. Thank you everybody who made their pre-order, and yeah, we're gonna see what happens, you know. Give all the glory to God, stay humble, and just stay ambitious. Yeah, you gotta get it. Be a businessman, start a brand, build a brand, you know?
Yes, sir. I agree, man. I agree. Leatherface, it's been a pleasure, man. I mean, we've been chopping it up, we've been talking to you. Just talking to you, even off camera, man, I just became a bigger fan, bro.
Right on.
You know, just like I tell everybody else, you know, once you come here, your family, my brother, we support you, we support your music. Please come back, and anytime you're in Cali, whether you're in Cali, stopping by, living here for a bit, finishing your albums, make sure you reach out, man. Let us know, my brother.
Most definitely.
We got your back. The Drip Effect, we're definitely going to be looking out for that project coming up. I wish you the best of luck with that. Shout out to everybody out in Texas. And like I said, man, we family now. Thank you very much for being here, Leatherface. We appreciate it, homeboy. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you in everything you do. And, you know, shout out to everybody out in LA. Everybody support my boy Leatherface. Shout out to Big Cobra. Shout out to Mashwood Apparel. Everybody at the Smoking Loud family. This is another episode of Talk That Talk with Leatherface. Hope you enjoyed it.
Real from the get-go. We all trying to survive from the ghetto. I'm from the H where they pimp hoes and swing foes. It's dirty, so you gotta stay on your toes. I keep a player profile everywhere.